Welcome back to Hollow Disc, guys, and today we're gonna be walking you through the full Ymir questline in the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. But before we move on, make sure to hit that subscribe button in order to support our channel and help us reach 1000 subscribers. So with that out of the way, let's begin. So you want to start off by coming to the castle front side of Grace, and from there we're gonna head over to the Moorth ruins side of Grace. But if you have already reached that point in the game, you can skip to the specified timestamp. But if you haven't gotten that far yet, you can either go inside the castle and go to the Rhia boss fight, or you can go around the castle by heading southeast and following this route. Once you reach the end of the path, you will notice a sealed spirit spring, and in order to activate it, follow this path until you find a small pile of glowing rocks. Once you find the rocks, attack them in order to break them, and this will activate the spirit spring. So go back to it and use your horse to jump to the top. Once you reach the Moorth ruins side of Grace, keep heading east inside the ruins, and you will discover a hole leading underground. So jump down from this spot and keep following this route until you reach the Bonnie village. Once you reach the Bonnie village side of Grace, we're gonna head north in order to get the Oh Mother emote, which you will need to complete this quest. After picking up the emote, we're gonna try and cross the two bridges leading out of the village until we reach our next side of Grace. From there, we're gonna keep heading north until we reach the Church District High Road side of Grace. From there, we're gonna follow the road down south until we reach the Cathedral of Manus, where we will be able to find Ymir and start his quest line. And once you find Ymir, talk to him and exhaust his dialogue, and you will receive the whole Laden necklace key item and the ruins map note. After you speak with Ymir, a new NPC in the name of Jolan will appear near the entrance of the building. So go ahead and exhaust her dialogue, and after that, we're gonna travel to the Finger Ruins of Rhia, which is located in the southern shore region. If you have unlocked the side of Grace to this location, go ahead and skip to the specified timestamp, and if not, we're gonna fast travel back to the castle front side of Grace, and from there we're gonna keep following this route until we reach the southern shore region. Once we reach the Cerulean Coast site of Grace, just keep heading down south until you reach the Cerulean Coast Cross site of Grace, which is located right here on the map. And from there, we're gonna go to the Finger Ruins of Rhia by following this route. Once you reach the Finger Ruins site of Grace, we're gonna head towards the center of the ruins, which is located up north. And once you reach the center of the ruins, interact with the hanging bell in the center and you will receive a talisman and your job here will be done. So now we're gonna fast travel back to the Cathedral of Manus Metyr and talk with Ymir once again. And once you exhaust this dialogue, he will reward you with the second ruins map along with the beloved Stardust Talisman. He will also have some new sorceries for you to buy, so be sure to check them out. You can also speak with Jolan for some extra dialogue, and this time around she will be nicer to you. And once you exhausted the dialogue of all NPCs, we're gonna make our way to the Finger Ruins of Dheo. These ruins can only be reached by going through the Shadow Keep, but you don't have to fight any bosses in order to get there. So what we're gonna do now is fast travel back to the Church District High Road site of Grace, and from there we're gonna keep heading northwest until we reach the Shadow Keep. Once you reach the Shadow Keep, the place will be flooded with water, so you're gonna have to do some jumping and platforming in order to get to where you need to go. Once you reach the storehouse side of grace, we will keep following this route until we reach the Shadowkeep back gate side of grace. This place is pretty easy to get lost in, so I suggest you pay close attention to the route I'm taking. Once you reach the back gate side of grace, we're gonna turn right, and once we get to the statue at the end of the room, we're gonna use the Oh Mother gesture that we picked up early on. Doing so will unlock a hidden pathway, so go on and head inside and keep following this route until we reach the finger ruins of Dheo. You might encounter a couple of tree sentinels in the way, but you are free to ignore them if you like. Once we reach the finger ruins, we're gonna try to make our way to the center of the ruins just like before. And once you finally reach the center, interact with the hanging bell and you will receive another talisman, and from there we're gonna fast travel back to the cathedral. And once you're there, talk to Ymir and you will get the final ruins map. He will also have one more sorcery to teach, so go ahead and buy it if you like. After that, you can talk with Jolan if you like some more information about the quest. And after you exhaust the dialogue, go back and rest at the nearby side of grace, and once you get back, Ymir will be gone and his seat will be empty. So go ahead and interact with the chair and the hidden path will open. Once that happens, head down the ladder and you will reach the finger ruins of Metyr. Along the way you will get invaded by an enemy who is Jolan's sister, but she shouldn't be much of a challenge to take down. And after beating her, you could get an extra dialogue from Jolan if you head back outside before interacting with the hanging bell. And once you're done talking to her, go back down and interact with the hanging bell, and you will be transported into the finger birthing grounds, where you will be facing off against Metyr, the mother of fingers. And after defeating the boss, activate the Site of Grace and fast travel back to the Cathedral. And once you're there, go ahead and interact with Ymir's chair once again, and you will be invaded by Jolan. And after beating her, you will be facing off against Ymir himself. And after beating them, you will get Ymir's staff, armor set, and bell bearing. And after that, go ahead and rest at the Site of Grace once more. Go back inside and you will find the wounded Jolan sitting against a pillar. And when you talk to her, you can either choose to give her the Iris of Grace or the Iris of Occultation. And keep that in mind that you can only choose one option per playthrough. And if you don't have an Iris of Grace, you can get one by fast traveling to the Specimen Storehouse Site of Grace, and from there keep following this route in order to find one. After getting the Iris of Grace, we will fast travel to the Moorth Highway south side of Grace and follow this path in order to get to the Iris of Occultation. After getting the Iris of Occultation, we're gonna fast travel back to the Cathedral and talk to Jolan once again. During this conversation, if you choose to give her the Iris of Occultation, you will receive the Sword of Night, which is probably one of the coolest looking weapons in the game, but not that impressive in terms of dealing damage. And if you use the Iris of Grace on Jolan, you will be receiving her Spirit Ashes, for which you can get a special upgrade. And in order to get it, we're gonna fast travel to the Hinterland Site of Grace, and from there, we're gonna keep following this route. Once you reach the Shaman village, you can spot a small tree at the center with a legendary incantation, Minor Erdtree, sitting right next to it, so you can go ahead and pick it up. This incantation summons a tiny tree that will keep healing you and your nearby allies. And if you go a bit further, you can find the golden Braid Talisman on the southwest side of the village. After that, keep heading east and go down the ledge right here. From here, we're gonna jump to the top floor balcony of Rabbath's Rise. And once you're inside, you can find Jolan's sister, and if you have Jolan's Spirit Ashes, you can interact with her in order to get the special upgrade, which will transform your Spirit Ashes into Jolan and Anna, making it a quite unique Spirit Ashes to have in your possession. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you all very much for watching our video. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button to support our channel and leave a comment to let us know what you want to see next. And finally, I will see you next time on Hollow Disc.